For decades now, retro gamers wanting to play classic Atari VCS games using a paddle or joystick haven't had the best options. The best has been fairly expensive collector-made adapters that allow your old controllers to plug in through USB. Second best has been a long line of largely terrible knockoffs of CX40 wannabes, and essentially nothing on the paddle front that's universally compatible. I don't know why it's taken this long for a company like the well-respected peripheral manufacturer PowerA to try catering to the 2600 crowd, but they were approached by Atari to make the controllers for the new VCS, and we now have a high-quality option for VCS, PC, and Android devices. Finally, the good news is it works great on the VCS and is starting to work good on PC. The classic joystick feels like some 2600 joysticks I've played over the years that were more sensitive. If you've ever had a good controller for something like Cosmic Arc, you might know what I mean. I've also had and largely gotten used to hand killers where you jam the stick, which is mostly fine if not very good for carpal tunnel. I bring it up because the classic feels perfect for some, maybe too delicate for others, and its construction and design have been a fairly hot topic in the VCS community. After a few initial minutes of using a heavy touch on the stick, I realized it was asking for less force, and when I switched over, the controller sprang into its own with a great feel, excellent response capability, and was pretty darn close to the perfect modern Atari controller I've been wanting. The classic joystick also delivers on the paddle front, although it has shown some tendency towards slight jitter. In most cases I've turned down game sensitivity and it hasn't been an issue, but it is there for some breakout-style games on the Vault in particular. The twist itself is smooth and light, but sturdy feeling, and does allow for 360-degree spinning for top-down racing games in Tempest. One topic that's come up in the community is whether the stick should be reinforced, and that does seem to be like a good idea, although I'd hate to see it happen at the expense of its pretty good twist functionality. The upside to the paddle functionality is huge, and it'll eventually have the potential to be a game changer when it comes to playing Atari on PC. It utterly destroys every other Atari-style controller that's been made to date. No real competition even to mention, and finally having mostly good twist control means I can enjoy playing games like Pong, Avalanche, and Breakout in a way I haven't been able to off of the original hardware. It also works killer for games like Thrustlander and Danger Scavenger on the VCS where you twist to control your ship. Unlike the original stick, the classic controller has 2 gaming buttons and 2 menu buttons. The controller has the sort of basic rumble you've been getting used to for years. You connect over Bluetooth or with a basic micro USB to USB Type-A cable. PowerA did put a notch into the controller, presumably to try to keep the cable more secure, but the end result is you'll need to buy a cable made for the controller if you ever want to replace it, or take out a file and sand down the plastic. There is also pretty cool LED lighting around the Ring and Atari logo that responds to your controls. One current significant downside is that the classic controller isn't being recognized very widely on PC, whether in VCS or Xbox mode. I have it working well in Steam's Big Picture mode, with no twist functionality, but I've not been able to get it working with either Stella or MAME. Hopefully future updates will get the controller working more widely on PC. It also paired fine over Bluetooth to Android, and although I didn't really have much to play on the tablet that could use a joystick, it navigated the phone and menu screens just fine. It seems likely that PowerA will have an opportunity to sell these controllers for years to come, no matter how successful the launch of the VCS actually ends up being. For the money, it's a well-built update to the original CX40 with a nice twist functionality and a comfortable feel. If it can get more universal compatibility, this will be the best way to play old Atari and many arcade games on PC. Thanks for watching! I'll be taking a look at the modern controller, PC mode, and more in the coming weeks, so stick around and give the videos a like if you're willing, as it is why people searching for this stuff find me. If you subscribe, you'll get these videos in your feed. Have fun!